Hi everybody, here we are again, another in the Love Amplified series. Hope you're doing well, and let's start off with a couple of images. I want you to look at each one of these images and notice what comes up for you. Notice what they evoke. Good. So, what came up for you? What did you feel when you looked at these images? What did you say or think about those images? And did you have a choice in how you interpret them? Because that's exactly what happened. You interpreted each one of those images and it evoked a certain reaction or response in you. You're doing this all the time. You look at the world around you, you look at somebody who shows up in front of you, and you don't really see them. You see your interpretation of them. And ultimately, this is what you do. You overlay an interpretation, you overlay your stuff onto the person, the image, the circumstance, and you don't see it for what it is, you see it from who you are. So you don't see them, you see you, or an aspect of you. So what story did you make up about each one of these images? And did that story serve you? Did it affect you positively or negatively? Did it evoke a positive reaction or a negative reaction? Because if it evoked if it evoked suffering or pain or negativity, then that's not serving for you. And understand that suffering, pain, or negativity, or positivity for that matter, doesn't exist in the picture. It doesn't exist in the image. It exists within you. And you've just taken that and overlaid it. Yes, those are possibly evocative pictures, but they're only evocative if you make them so. If your interpretation, if the meaning you give it evokes something in you. Now we do this automatically and it's difficult not to. But this is where the real power lies. Can you see something, be present with something, and see it as it is, not as you are? Because what's the big deal here? The big deal is that your happiness depends on your interpretation of the circumstance. And if you allow the circumstance to dictate or take away your peace, then it is not the circumstance, it is you. And this is about you reclaiming that power back. The question is, are you willing to see this differently? And how differently can you see? What is available to you? If you are stuck in one mode of seeing, if you are depressed, okay, and depressed to such an extent that you see the world through that lens, through that filter, and everything out there is depressing, then there's not much possibility for you. But when you are able to change the lens from which you are seeing everything, you might be able to see new possibility. And just remember, the happy person effortlessly interprets all circumstances in a way that doesn't take his peace away. Now you get to choose. The other important thing here is that your interpretation is your interpretation, and that means it's in your mind and it sits with you and it becomes the way you start to interpret everything. It affects how you see everything. And when that interpretation is gone from your mind, it is also gone from the universe. It is gone from out there. Now start to look at the possibility of interpreting things differently, of seeing things differently, and it might change your entire world. Thank you. I'll check in with you again tomorrow. Have a good one.